Hi, right. Today I'm going to talk about geometry, chakras, and people have asked me. I'd say I don't have any chakras, and what I mean is that I've shifted my perception of what they are and where they are, and it will also bring in hopefully the AP for nowalists out there. But basically, this is energy configuration and what I see and how I use my intent in order to make concepts practical sorcery, if you like. So we start with a person, put him onto the side for a particular reason, to show actually how you shift the all the chakras and merge them all. Okay, so we know about, we get told that we've got chakras, okay, and that they run in an up and down configuration. So, from your crown, third eye, whether it comes here doesn't really make much difference on this for the purposes of this. Your throat, your heart center, solar plexus, sacral center, and root. And some people think that there's 7, and some people think there's 13, but basically they're all on an up and down axis here. Okay, bringing in energy from both sides, and the caduceus, or the navel insignia, runs up and down the spine. So, how did I get to know about this? Well, I first got interested in what happens with these when I did my my Reiki. Okay, like back in the day, nearly 20 years ago, I did my Reiki 1. Reiki 2, Reiki Masters, and we learnt that Reiki actually puts a channel in. So spiritual healers or whatever, talk about the universal life energy and how we can be conduits for that. And we utilise the fact that we are a natural tube torus, okay, which, is basically, our energy body, okay, and we have 2 entrance points, if you like. One coming up from the planet and the earth, from the centre of the planet, whatever you like to come, the upward flow, and we have the downward flow. So whether that's from the sky and the earth, it doesn't really matter what you feel that they come from. They come from the outside, if you like, the perceived outside into your internal system. This is, and we are ring donor. And that's really the same as, the planet with the north and the south pole. And the magnetic flux and stuff up through that. It's also electromagnetic, the poles of a battery, all sorts of things are to do with this particular flow. But what's not really commonly explored is the fact that, animals on the planet, they actually are configured horizontally. We have a little cat here, like this, right? And all their chakras are along their spine, but obviously their spine is horizontal. So it was interesting that we're obviously all vertical, and cats and dogs and horses and all the other animals, basically they're more horizontal, and we are known that animals and stuff are, obviously use their gut instincts a lot more. They're more in tune with, cats and dogs are obviously known for their psychic abilities and knowing what's going on, and animals are known what the weather's like and things like that. So there isn't just the vertical lines, if you like. There's obviously horizontal lines when it comes to energies and them flowing. So they must obviously have one coming in here or coming in this way into their systems, and probably one coming this way. So they must have the same something, but horizontal and us vertical. So when we look at this kind of energy field, and with the Reiki, it was that we actually put an energy channel through all of them, and we got them to spin, if you like, you know, got them to spin or to flow, so that the more of this upward and downward energy would come into our bodies. And we used to channel it from our hearts out through our hands. Okay, so you know that you can obviously bring it down and bring it out another way, in another direction. Well, this got me thinking that, you know, how would one, if one wanted to be more intuitive to the planet, or just a general gut reactions, or more intuitive, then really we would be having this horizontal one, possibly the vertical one as well, but definitely we would have to integrate this horizontal one. So I started, it just came that I could see energies as a kid all the way through, and I used to see lines, probably the eagle's emanations, you know, and I could see them basically within the human body and around, you know, people, and I could see where they were broken, and I used to mend them and, you know, get energy to flow through them, and I, you know, had my own glossary of what they all meant, which, you know, that comes with just perception, but you could alter them. And I decided that when I'd done my Reiki and I'd learned a bit about this, that that basically, why would you have chakras, really? What would happen if you merged them all? And with the lines that I saw, they were the kind of straight lines. They were you know, basically the Merkaba in various different sizes throughout the body. But this used to kind of create a crisscross pattern. So they used to come down. So if we just put one in here, you know, sort of the main one, if you like. It used to just, and basically they just keep creating crisscross patterns. Don't want to get it too messy here, but basically they used to crisscross each other all the way, and basically create a lattice effect across the body, and basically back the other way, as well as diagonal. So basically you've got a diagonal kind of pattern that's three-dimensional. So it's, you know, I mean, four-dimensional. It's everywhere. It just kind of crisscrosses and leaves the gaps. And obviously, whichever angle you're looking at, the shapes look different. And that's basically, you know, geometry and all the different shapes and everything obviously fit into this this crisscross pattern with circles. Okay, so it's the masculine and the feminine together, because the lines are masculine. Lines are masculine and curves are female. Okay, so it's not only that there is crisscross lines, but there's also circles. And if you look at Drumbelo's work on the Flower of Life, then you'll see that obviously the Flower of Life pattern would fit over this as well. Obviously it's complicated, so I'm not going to draw it here. But anyway, when it comes to actually moving the chakras or merging the chakras, I was like, well, you can't really move them sort of one on top of the other here, although you can make a flow. Okay, you'd actually have to superimpose them on each other in the same space. And basically the way that you would do that, I found, was that you would actually move your perception of having an up and down to this horizontal. And you would move it 45 degrees on one angle, 45 degrees, okay, crisscross grid, 45 degrees on one axis, okay, and then 45 degrees on another axis. And if you did that, so you move it 45 from the heart centre here, okay, it was up and down, it's now 45 degrees. So we just do a thick line here. 45 degrees. This would actually move to here, to here, to here. Okay, and these ones obviously would move to here, you know, to here, to here. So you're starting to actually move the points to these different points on the grid. Okay, and these ones here would be superimposed in the same space horizontally with the next one in the sequence. And then if you actually moved it again 45 degrees, okay, so you've moved it 45 degrees and then 45 degrees back the other way, you would actually have them all in a line with your heart centre. Okay, so this is actually moved to here and then it's moved up to here. Right, and these ones have moved in line this way. Okay, so basically you would have them all in a row on another set of grids. Yeah, it's probably not quite accurate here, but basically you're moving them on a spiral system up to the heart centre, and basically then they would all be horizontal and therefore more in touch with everything else. Obviously, to do this you need them all to be clear so that they can merge with each other. But then I felt that, well, obviously they were all in a row, if you like, but they're basically, as there's no sort of space or distance, okay, between anything, especially at this level, okay, then basically they would all come in and you would be working from your heart centre. Okay. Those into Nowelism will know that, you know, the AP is sort of behind the shoulder blades in its fixed position. Okay, but then if you understand these grids and how they crisscross, you can basically move this, you know, wherever you like. So yeah, so that's basically how I say that I have no chakras anymore. It's because I've actually shifted my perception. Okay, so that they have moved 45 degrees on one axis and 45 degrees on another to be able to come horizontal and actually occupy the same space. Okay, and therefore, like animals, more in tune with the horizontal, which is known to be the female axis rather than the masculine axis. You know, females work horizontally within the thing. You know, the tonal is female anyway, naturally female, so that would make sense that, you know, animals are more in touch. So horizontal female, vertical or active within that male, and that will come in later in other videos. I hope that was clear.